Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live stream of FSGP 2025 round 3 on this GPK Suzuka circuit. You can the practice session is already started, but we're still watching at some images from the track. We have we are going to watch round 3 tonight. We have already had 2 rounds. The first one was on Albert Park, and this is the result of that race with a win for Guus van Doormalen, second Lozi Lozi, and 3 Roland Beasley. All 3 will be racing tonight again. Those are the results from round 2 on Shanghai. This time Lozi Lozi was the winner, Cadillac Crafter was second, and Guus van Doormalen third. And we have a leaderboard after round 1 and 2 with Lozi Lozi in the lead, second Guus van Doormalen, and third Jesper Nijberg. And here are we watching the practice session. Drivers for today. This is Patarozzi. He's driving with FSGP for more than a year now. Swijberg has done the fastest time so far, 1:06.9. I guess lap times will be faster if we are a little bit further on the practice server. Here we have Panabianco, Matt Leaner. He's new for this year. Jacobs is driving some races for us now. Lolo, also a new guy. And here we have Thomas Kane. Thomas Kane is racing with us for a couple of years. He changed livery this year. Last year he had the livery from the car in front of him right now. And Thomas has already done the 4th time of this practice session. Here we have Ashley van Salm from the Netherlands. We have the winner from last race on Shanghai, Lozi Lozi. He's very close in lap time to Guus van Doormalen. We're driving today on the Suzuka circuit, GPK Suzuka, Grand Prix karting version of the Suzuka F1 circuit. And Guus didn't do a faster lap this lap. Thomas was going a bit wide. And the hairpin. This section is flat out. Driving into spoon 1 and spoon 2. Another section flat out. Going into the 130R. Lasse Kane, and then another lap done for Thomas Kane. He's not improving his lap time. Let's have a look at the weather today on the track. It's just a little bit cloudy. And Losi did a faster lap than Van Dorenmalen. Going to be exciting who's going to be the fastest for today. And Guus is doing another lap faster than Losi. Oh, that was a dangerous pit exit from Madlena. 5 minutes to go about in this practice session. We should be happy there is no very dry weather, so no fire on the grass here tonight. For the people who are watching FSGP for the first time, these cars are Formula Student cars, and the one we are watching now is made by a mad Formula Student team from Madrid and built for Assetto Corsa by Diego Rosado. We have a championship, FSGP, since 2021, so this is the fourth year we're doing this championship, and every race is at the same time when the Formula One races in the official Formula One season. And this weekend the Formula One is in Japan, Suzuka, so that's why we are racing also on Suzuka, on a Grand Prix karting version of Suzuka, which is a bit smaller than the real version. It's made for karts and for Formula Student. So if you look at the curbstones, those curbstones are in use on most karting tracks in the Netherlands, because the GPK track builder is from the Netherlands. And the first Grand Prix karting tracks didn't have any grandstands, just like the regular outdoor karting tracks. But in the years we are doing this now, they are much closer to the real F1 tracks. So with a lot of grandstands and also buildings you can see around the real track are in a smaller version on this Grand Prix karting tracks. As usual with the karting track, the pit lane is not on the inside of the track. There's not enough space on the inside, so it's on the outside. If you take a look at somebody in the pit, yeah. Oh, some trees in the way. On the real track, the pit lane is here, but there's not enough space for a pit lane, so on this Grand Prix karting version, it's on the outside. Which means something for the pit exit. On the real track, it's here in the middle of the screen, but on this one, it's on the outside. So drivers leaving the pit have to be careful if there are any other cars driving on the track so far. Lap times are becoming faster to the end of the practice session. Most drivers did already make a setup before tonight. Not as in real F1. In real F1 they can only have a couple of practice sessions. And in FSGP, since it's an online championship, people can practice at home on a computer as much as they want. So people who are making setups have already done that, and the only practicing what they do tonight is getting used to the track conditions. And we are trying to get the track conditions as close to the weather predictions for tomorrow. With the exception that on this server rain is unfortunately not possible, so we have always a dry race, but the clouds can be very cloudy. Not for today. So it's the end of the practice session. So in this practice session we have Kruger on 17, Mogan on 15, Madliner on 14, Salm on 13, Jacobs on 12, Beasley on 11, Thomas Kane on 10, Lolo, I guess what it is, on 9, Malamala on 8, Patarozzi on 7, Wilson on 6, Zweiberg on 5, Panabianco on 4, Lozi on 3, Nijberg on 2, that is a bit of a surprise, and Doormalen at the fastest time in the first practice session. Drivers are driving back to the pits right now. Now the practice session is officially closed. We have to wait 2 minutes before 1 minute, sorry, before qualifying starts. In the meantime, we can look at some images from the track. Here we can see the Senna curves. A lot of turns close to each other, which are very difficult to do in a fast lane. Here we have turn 1 and turn 2, very difficult because turn 1 is flat out and then you have to brake while you're still entering a corner, which is difficult. It's much easier to brake in a straight line. And it's a good place to do some overtaking. Here we see the Senna S's. which are not flat out, so very difficult to get it right. And qualification is started. We're watching Lozi. Drivers are very close to each other, but they all have to look for some space that they can do a fast lap. I think it should be wise to drive a little bit slower so that there's a gap in front of you. Nyberg is warming up his tires. Lozi and Nyberg are creating a gap in front of them. Nyberg. And let's look how he's going to do his first timed lap. Chris van Dormaal is driving in front of him, so Zweigbæk will have enough space in front of him. Flat out to the 130. Now to the chicane. And now we're going to see how fast he will be in his first lap. So that's a very fast lap. Only half a second behind the leader. Now Lozi became second. Well, this won't be a fast lap, I guess. Let's see what he can do. Important to know. I think the LEDs for the hybrid systems are all red now, but I don't think they will work. They will work for the driver himself, but not what we see. For the hybrid system are those 4 red lights on the right on the display. If the battery is full loaded, they're all blue. And they are red when you have all battery used. At least Guus has a free lap now. Chicane, the green LED on the left, so that means it will do a fast lap time. A 1030, which is very fast. Let's see what Lozi is going to do. A red LED for lap time, so he is starting his new lap now. Of the lap time of the previous LED. Lap. Don't be misled by a red or a green LED for the lap time, because if you're 1 millisecond behind your fastest lap time, it will be red, and only 1 millisecond faster than your fastest lap time, it will be green. So when it's changing from red to green to red to green, you're very close to your fastest lap time. And I think now he will be faster. We don't know if Luca Panibianco is in fast lap now. But there's Romanov if he doesn't make a mistake. He keeps on the right. No, he doesn't. He was faster, but not fast enough to become first. Let's look for somebody who has a green LED for the lap time. Entering the pit. Matt Lehner has a green LED. Let's watch his onboard. Chicane. Oh, a little error, a little bit too much. He's staying on the right. That's a shorter line. He improved his lap time with 200 milliseconds. So Losi is becoming faster. Oh, not this way anymore, but only 1/10 behind Guus van Dorenmalen. And he's going to do another lap. Guus didn't improve, and is not improving anymore. Now the P1 and P2 in qualifying are behind each other. Let's see what they will do at the end of the practice session. Oh, he's just waiting. Track conditions are improving. Cars are becoming lighter, so close to the end of the practice session, so the qualification session, times will be faster. This is not start-finish. From another layout from the track, but not the one we're using today. Here they go. Let's look at the onboard. Not improving. Now he's improving. Go out of the way. He's not improving anymore. Maybe he can do now with the slipstream. Yeah, he's improving now. This is going to be close. 2/10 of a second isn't much. Not fast enough. What is Guus doing? Not improving. But they both can do another lap. Losi is improving now. Jacobs, please go out of the way. But maybe Jacob is also on a hot lap. Guus is still improving. I think we know. Oh, we ran out of gas. So he won't improve. Lozy in the pit, so he won't also not improve. So, the results for the qualification for today. One moment, please. We have on 16 Eli Kruger, 15 Ashley van der Zalm, 14 Thomas Kane, 13 Min Jacobs. I don't know how to pronounce it, I guess that it is. 12 Stel Beasley, 11 we have Alessio Lolo, 10 Philip Morgan, 9 David Wilson, 8 we have Simon Medliner, 7 Steve Matamala, 6 Matthias Patarozzi, 5 Luca Panebianco, 4 Edwin van Zweigberg, 3 Jesper Nijberg, 2 Lozy, and on pole position for the race for tonight on GPK Suzuka is Guus van Doormalen with a 1:03.020. So that's a very fast lap. It's a bit faster than last year. The same as in Formula 1. The difference for this year for FSGP is we are using the hybrid system. And if you use it the right way, you can do a faster lap with it. We have to wait. Then we go to the race. All cars on the grid with the safety car at the end. Waiting for the start of the race. Here we go. That's a good start for Guus van Doormalen. Lozy had a much better start. Lozy takes the lead. Guus van Doormalen second. Panebianco third. Guus is going a bit wide. And we have Edwin van Zijberg on P3 now. It's the same as in China 2 weeks ago. Then Lozy also had a better start as Guus van Doormalen. So Lozy on P1, Guus on P2, Edwin van Zijberg on P3. Let's look where it is very close. Here Panebianco in battle with Nijberg. Very close. Here we have another battle between Lolo and... Oh, somebody spins over there. That was Patarozzi. You couldn't see what was the course for this. Looking some other fights at the back. Beasley. So, this is very close. Mala on the outside. Oh, he got hit by Jacobs. Sorry, by the black car, which is Wilson. Okay, we're still on board with Guus van Dormalen. He's closer to Lozi. When will he try to do an overtake? I think it's going to be another very exciting race. This is very close behind Lozi. Let's look at his onboard. Oh, so there was a problem with the live stream, I see. You didn't see the start of the race. Well, we will make a real live version of it so you can see the race again after this. But this is an attack from Guus. He passed Lozi, so we have a new leader. Here we have Male on 7. Behind Lolo. Nijberg is close behind Zweiberg. It looks like the gap between Lozi and Guus is becoming bigger. So now, the battle is going on here. Here we have a battle in the back of the field. Taylor Lou behind Thomas Kane. And I guess he did use the overtake button to pass Thomas Kane. It's a bit confusing, they both are driving with the same livery. So he's going for the next place. After Medliner. Oh! Unfortunately, that was a spin from Thomas Kane and Taylor Lou. Here we have another fight between Jasper Nijberg and Zweigberg. Here a very close battle between David Wilson and Morgan and Beasley. Even Morgan behind. It is not an easy track to overtake. There are some spots on the track where you can overtake, and happily the MFT02s have a hybrid system with an overtake button, but that you can use on the straight. Maybe now David Wilson will use the overtake button. Beasley is a bit weaving to defend his position. Still very close. What is going on here? Guus van Dormalen lost a lot of time. Suddenly Lozi is right behind him. Lozi in battle with Nyberg. Oh no, I think it was a back marker. Yes. Haley Kruger. But happily Doormalen and Lozi could pass him without an accident. Zwijkberg close behind Nyberg. A tree battle here, Malamala, Steve Malamala. That's very close. That's about. Oh, they touch. They touched, but no accident. Still very close. This is what we like to see, close racing on a small track. It looks like they're all driving very clean, no incidents with close racing. Let's go to David Wilson. Beasley even closer. On the inside, he tries to overtake on the inside, but he didn't make it. Still 9, Jacobs 8. But Wilson and Medliner following on 10 and 11. David Wilson tries to overtake at the outside. Maybe he can have a slipstream from... Oh, they touched. Still Beasley to P8. David Wilson still close behind him. Very close behind him. So we're looking at the battle for 8, 9 and 10. Beasley, Wilson and Medliner. Interesting battle. Not yet. Oh, that was very close. Maybe after the chicanes he gets a second chance on the start-finish straight. Somebody is already going to the pit. That's very early. Everybody needs to do a pit stop because there's not enough room for fuel for the whole race. So you need to do a pit stop for fueling. Like this is going to be a battle for the entire race. Medliner, Wilson and Beasley. They have about the same speeds, that's why of course they're having a battle. Peter Benke to the pit. Lots of drivers are going to make a pit stop now. Simon Medliner behind Paterozzi. It's a bit confusing now. I can't see on this leaderboard who has already made a pit stop, only who is making a pit stop. So some people can be behind because they have already made a pit stop. Let's have a look at the leaders. Here we have Lozy Lozy. Here we have Jasper Nyberg. Zweigberg is following him. The leader still not going to make a pit stop. Simon Medliner on 12, following Wilson, David Wilson. Alessio Lolo making a pit stop. That's very... Oh, something went wrong. Oh, that's very strange. He was in the wrong pit box maybe. That was a very fast pit stop as it should be. Here we have Thomas Kane. Leslie van der Zalm. That was a strange move. Oh, what's going on with Thomas? Matthias Patarazzi. And we have David Wilson from the USA. Interesting to see. Oh, Lozy is going to make a pit stop, yes. Now it's important what is going to happen with the back markers. Can Guus put in a fast lap now? Those laps are the most important laps in the race. Here you can win or lose a lap, a race. Oh, no problem with David Wilson. He has a blue flag, so he definitely makes room for the leader. What is Guus going to do? On the left we can see in the distance if there is Lozy approaching now, but Guus is still in the lead. So the pit stop didn't change the order. Nyberg is in the fight. Nyberg close behind Zweigberg. Oh, that was a back marker in front of Zweigberg. close battle between Edwin Spikeberg and Nyberg. Let's follow this fight. And now it depends on who has the most energy in the hybrid system. But I guess Jesper Nyberg is defending his position and with his hybrid system because the gap was becoming bigger and bigger. Guus van Doormalen struggling with the back marker. Now Lozi is very close behind Guus. What is this back marker doing, we could ask ourselves. Flip Morgan. It looks like he's defending almost. Now Lozi has to deal with him. Oh, yeah. Also happily for the leaders, positions aren't changed by this back marker. Here we have Simon Jacobs following Paterozzi. It looks a bit like Lozi was a bit faster than Guus van Doormalen. We're on lap 18 from 21, 3 laps to go after this lap for the leaders. Driver in P17, Eli Kruger. On 16 we have Alesso Lolo. There's a blue flag again. Pendebieko behind Kruger. Decent overtake. We go to Thomas Kane. Oh, a bit of a strange move. Thomas Kane on 15. I guess he won't be very happy after this race. Most of the time he is 12 or 11 or 10 or 9, not on 15. Here we have Ashley Salem from the Netherlands on P14. On P13 we have Philip Mogren. On 12 Simon Jacobs. On 11 Matthias Paterozzi. David Wilson on 10. Stel Beasley on 9. Simon Medliner on 8. Taylor Liu on 7. Luca Panebianco on 6. And Steve Matamala on 5. On 4 we have Edwin Zweigberg. Jesper Nyberg on P3. Lozi on 2nd place. And the leader in the final lap, Guus van Doormalen. Lozi was P1 on the leaderboard after 2 races, but if Guus doesn't anything wrong for tonight anymore, then he's going to win tonight, and he will have more points than Lozi, and he will be back the leader in the championship. There seems to be a problem with Guus van Doornmalen. Lozi is closing the gap, yes. Guus was very lucky tonight. He ran out of fuel, but just in time he could make it to finish the race. Lozi became second, Jasper Nijberg third, Zwijgberg fourth, Steve Matamala 5, Luca Panipiano 6, Taylor Lou on 7, Stel Beasley on 8. They're still racing, I guess. Simon Meinler on 9. David Wilson on 9. Oh, and now the leaderboard is doing a bit strange because that's of the end of the race and people are disconnecting from the server. So this was round 3 on GPK Suzuka, the Japanese FSGP round 3 of FSGP 2025. Let's see at the official results. On 10 David Wilson, 9 Simon Medliner, 8 Stel Beasley, 7 Taylor Lou, 6 Luca Panibianco, 5 Steve Matamala, 4 Edwin van Zwijgberg, 3 Jasper Nijberg, 2 Lozi, just half a second behind Guus van Doornmalen. And he was very lucky tonight because he was running out of fuel. He just could make it to the end of the race. Now we have to wait to the top 3 drivers and Thomas Kane. Thomas Kane is going to do the interviews as usual. So we have to wait for a moment.
Okay. Yes. All right. Let's get this on. Jasper,
Yeah.
how'd your race go? It's your first podium, I believe, of the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, I had a little, I had a stint like in 2021 where I think I got a podium, but yeah, for sure it is in a nice return. You know, I had a good fight with my close friend Edwin von Sveiberg. You know, we're classmates since we were 6 years old, so it's really nice to have a fight for both of us, like first podium. The race was good. I had a good fight with him. He is of course quite clean with me, and he undercut me in the pit stops without telling me. So yeah, we were in a voice channel, and he just suddenly disappeared from behind, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I've undercut you," and I was like, "No." Ran into some lapped cars, but then everything got sorted out. I managed to overtake him again. So very nice to be able to grab a podium now after a couple of fourth place finishes. You know, third is the only available spot because Gus and Lossie, you are quite frankly in another league. So yeah.
And did you spend a lot of time practicing today, for this particular race, or did you just kind of wing it?
Yeah, I think I spent maybe 30 minutes this day, and but I've driven on this track before in like 2021, I think, so I didn't really need that much. Of course, I have got the Goose setup now on, so we need to practice a bit more with that. The car is a bit different, but yeah, it was not that much practice.
And did you find any issues with back markers, or was it mostly smooth sailing for you?
I think if you ask me, it's quite good, but if you ask Edwin, he got almost taken out by one. So, but this race was pretty uneventful for me, I would say, with back markers. So no problems. Very good job.
Okay, well, congratulations on your P3, first podium of the year. We hope to see you again in the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to be here as well. Thank you.
Rosie, P2 once more. Looking at your total times, you were about 0.6 off of Goose. How was your pace over the entire race?
No, I was happy. I didn't expect to be so close to Goose, to be fair. I thought he was going to be like 3 tenths faster or so, but I'm happy with the race, with the pace.
Okay, and did you run into any issues with back markers, or was it mostly clean for you as well?
Yes, we had Goose knows. Yeah, we had issues. He lost a lot of time because of some markers. We were like 2-3 seconds the whole race, and some back markers made him lose time, which allowed me to close the gap. But I also took some revenge in one of the back markers.
Did you find at any point that you almost had Goose because of one of those situations arose?
Yeah, 2 times if I remember correctly. And yeah, I don't know what happened. Well, at the start, I think it happened to us the same thing as in China. He said he had some issues. I don't know. But yeah, then he did a very good pass on me at the first turns. I congratulate him for that pass. Again, this track, the Dutchmans are very fast in this track.
It did seem like it was difficult up and down the track for people to overtake. Were you finding yourself in a position where you were right up on Goose, but you couldn't actually overtake, or was it just a difference in overall pace?
I mean, we had very similar pace the whole race, and I was at some point closing the gap, and I think maybe I'm going to catch him and I will have an opportunity. But then I made some mistakes, which made the gap a bit bigger. Also, the opportunities I had to overtake, there wasn't really much space because there were lapped cars, and I didn't want to risk it or to do anything crazy. So yeah.
And I believe you tried to undercut Goose. How did that work out?
Very bad. I don't know how I lost a second on the pit stop. I cut the pit lane entry because I didn't know where it was, and still I lost a second because when I entered the pits I was 2 seconds off Goose, and when Goose came out I was 3 seconds. I don't know if he added a few less liters of fuel, but I don't know where could that second come from.
Well, you're not too far off the lead in the overall championship, so you just got to keep fighting, and we'll see how the rest of the season turns out.
Yep.
Goose, once again, the man of the hour. You've got pole position, you've got fastest lap, and you've got first. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really great. It was a really exciting race with yeah a lot of just again a poor start, but this time it was my own fault. I just yeah I was just all I was practicing with the two clutches on the steering wheel, but I still don't have quite the hang of it. So I just need to improve on my starts a bit. But yeah, it's my own fault at this time. Yeah, but then after that, I could just stay behind Josie and then overtake him with the hybrid system on the outside of turn one, turn two. So that was really nice. Yeah, and just after that, I was just trying to create a gap, and I think I managed pretty well. But then, then I think after that, there came the first back markers, and then he could, yeah, as he already mentioned, he could close up to me, and then when it got past, I think then we were pretty close. But then you made a mistake. I think there's a
Yeah.
small few mistakes. Yeah, so I could like uh, yeah extend the gap. But then, like mid race, he had a bit more pace than me, I think, just before the pit stops, and I
Yeah.
still don't know how I like. Normally, I'm like how further in the race I can preserve my tires a little bit better, but I still don't know why exactly. But this race, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the tires just went away very fast. So yeah, I need to find a way to eliminate that problem next race. But yeah, for the yeah, and then after that, like I think 3 or 4 laps before the last lap, then there was just one back marker, and he just didn't get out of the way, and I think he also defended a bit. And I was like showing like to inside of every corner like I want to overtake you or back marker. So but yeah, it's just every time close the door, so I lost really much time. But yeah, in the end I could overtake him with the hybrid system on the straight. And then after that, I think he did the same to Losi at the chicane. But then, yeah, I don't know what happened between them, but then he spun out. Yeah, and then after that, I could just keep the gap the same, and yeah, I won the race. Oh yeah, and at the end, oh yeah, the reason I was so much faster during the pit stop, like the fuel calculator said I could do it on 2 liter, like at 2 liters at the pit stop. But then I forgot like to uh, let the coast a bit. So I was going into the last lap, and I thought, oh no, what have I done? Like I saw like the meter, like on the Essentials app, and then I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna make it. So I just didn't break all lap. So then Losi could close up to me, but I saved very much fuel. And like I was like on the last straight, and like just on the finish
That's
line,
why.
like it
Okay.
fell down. What?
That's why you lifted on the last lap, on the last corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, this time it was 3 liters. Not in China. It was 2 liters for the pit stop. Now it was 3.
yeah,
and
yeah.
you and you put 2. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
exactly. Yeah. yeah.
Well, Lozzie, it sounds like you have a possible plan of attack for next race.
No, I don't like to suffer in the last laps with the fuel with the low fuel.
So now that we're 3 races in, and since you three are the leaders, how do you feel about the hybrid car? Do you think it has improved our overall racing? Do you think it has only really impacted the front of the pack? Do you think it's the entire race that has improved? What do you think of the car so far?
Uh,
Uh,
I mean, I like it. I think, for example, the overtake Gus that Gus did on me at the beginning of the race, I think without the hybrid it would have been impossible. Um, I was also using the hybrid, obviously, to defend, but I don't know. He got me a bit of surprise, and he managed to stay on the outside and managed to do a great overtake that I think it wouldn't have been possible without the hybrid system in this track.
Yeah, that's true. I think also, yeah, I really like the hybrid system, and it's great for overtaking, but also for defending. Because I think in China, I didn't win the race because Losi was just very smart with how to use the hybrid system. So like every time I was trying to use it, like on one run at straight, he just waited, and then on the last bit, I think you just hit the button. So then I just couldn't get past. But yeah, I think it's great for overall racing, and it makes it a bit more interesting. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
And just for how do you feel?
It's very nice to have something that maybe differentiates a bit when you have quite similar pace to the car in front. Because in previous seasons it has been quite difficult because you maybe get stuck behind someone who has very similar pace, and it's very difficult to find somewhere where you're quicker. So it's very nice to have that extra tool in your toolbox, like to actually get a move done. Very nice addition, I think.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Next week, we are going to Bahrain for our round 4. Let's take a quick look at the current standing. In first place with 65 points, we've got Goose. In second place with 61 points, we've got Lozi. Jesper, you're in P3 with 37. Luca Panaviakos with 26 in P4. Edvin is in P5 with 24. Cadillac, who missed out on today's race, is in P6 with 18. Taylor did a little bit worse today, but he is in P7. I believe he also came in P7. He had a bit of an incident with myself earlier in the beginning of the race. He has 16 points. Roland Beasley didn't show up today. He's in P8 with 15 points. Andre Reyes also didn't show up today. P9 with 12 points. P10 is currently Esteve Matamala. He was doing moderately well today. P10, 10 points. At P12, we have Simon with 4 points. 12th position is Stell, also with 4 points. Diego, who has been busy with his Formula 3 career, is busy and is currently in P4. He's got 2 points. And David and Antonio both have 1 point each.
Okay.
All right, everybody, we will see you next week.
Okay. Thank you, Thomas, for doing the interviews in the end. And see you all next week. Bye.